with several key elements of the ruling. The Office of the Bill of Information. Why the LNBA opposed the authority of the Supreme Court as the final advocate of constitutional and legal questions. We are constrained to express our disagreement with the court's interpretation and its practical implications on the doctrine of separation of powers. The LNBA affirms that a bill of information as a procedural tool is designed to clarify the implementation of a judgment or bring to the court's attention issues affecting its mandate. It is not and should not become a substitute mechanism for certain inherently political questions, particularly those relating to the internal organization, leadership, or operational independence of the legislature. The ongoing conflict within the House of Representatives is a matter that, though it may involve constitutional questions, is primarily political in nature. It requires political resolution through institutional dialogue, consensus building, and adherence to democratic norms, while the court may offer interpretative guidance on legal issues. The enforcement and implementation of its opinion in such matters depend heavily on political goodwill and respect for constitutional boundaries. The LNBA is concerned that repeated reliance on the judiciary to resolve legislative disputes may erode public confidence in the independence of both branches of government and may set a troubling precedent while political actors abdicate their responsibility to resolve internal conflicts. Under adherent jurisprudence and practice, a bill of information is intended to clarify or enforce a judgment where there is confusion or obstruction, while the court's decision to allow the bill of information was justified and procedurally correct, given the confusion surrounding the meaning and application of its prior ruling of December 6, 2024, the LNBA observes that the Supreme Court expanded the function of the Office of Bill of Information by reasserting and elaborating its prior ruling, effectively issuing a new substantive decision rather than simply clarifying it. This expansion risks inflating the Office of Bill of Information into a de facto remedial tool, inviting future parties to misuse it for re-litigation rather than seeking clarification from the Supreme Court. The LNBA asserts that on December 6, 2024, the Supreme Court ruled by indicating the following: wherefore, in view of the foregoing, any sitting or action by members of the legislature not in conformity with the intent of Article 33 and 49 of the 1986 Constitution are ultra-virus. Hence, members of the House of Representatives are to conduct themselves accordingly. The clerk of this court is hereby ordered to inform the parties, and it is hereby so ordered. Distinguished members of the media, Rule 4, Part 12 of the revised rules of the Supreme Court of Liberia prescribe the Office of Bill of Information as follows. A bill of information will lie to prevent a judge or any judicial officer who attempt to execute the mandate of the Supreme Court in an improper manner from doing so with the judge and or mandate of the Supreme Court. B. A bill of information will also lie to prevent anyone whomsoever from interfering with the judgment and or mandate of the Supreme Court. From the above rule, it is overly clear that a bill of information in this jurisdiction, in its legal context and application, is a proceeding that complains of a judge or judicial officer who attempts to execute the mandate of the Supreme Court in an improper manner, or any person who interferes with the mandate of the Supreme Court. In other words, a bill of information may be brought against a judge, judicial officer, or any person whomsoever who acts contrary to the mandate of the Supreme Court by disobeying, interfering, or obstructing the mandate of the Honorable Supreme Court. The Bassa that the December 6, 2024 ruling of the Supreme Court did not have any clear mandate to which a bill of information could lie. However, the Bar agrees with the Supreme Court on the clear purpose of clarification of the December 6, 2024 ruling. The Bar believes, therefore, that the Supreme Court erred by allowing informants in the proceeding to use the Office of Bill of Information to have the Supreme Court issue a second opinion and a judgment in the same constitutionality case, which is very different from the first opinion in the same case. The decision of the court to declare any sittings or actions of the majority block respondents to the SPI presiding officer of the House of Representatives while he is present and available to preside is unconstitutional without the appeal of the law. That is in the wisdom of the Supreme Court. In its April 23, 2025 opinion and judgment, the Supreme Court said that any sittings or actions of a majority block respondents to the exclusion of Speaker J. Fonati Kofa, the duly qualified presiding officer of the House of Representatives, while he is present and available to preside, is unconstitutional and without the bill of the law. The LNBA emphatically states that if the sittings of the majority block are illegal, obviously then the 2025 national budget is illegal, and all persons who participated in the process and or have benefited from the process are guilty of having participated in an illegal process and facilitated the consummation of its illegality. The LNBA believes that the Supreme Court has indicted itself of committing a very serious offense under the circumstances. That is why it is important that the Supreme Court quickly reconsiders its opinion and judgment and expunge itself from this embarrassment. Moreover, the Supreme Court's opinion and judgment constitute judicial overreach into matters exclusively reserved by the Constitution to the House of Representatives, and this violates the separation of powers doctrine, the cornerstone of a Republican form of government. The LNBA shall not condone legislative overreach in matters reserved by the 1986 Constitution to the judiciary. Similarly, the LNBA shall not actively observe judicial overreach in matters reserved by the Constitution exclusively for the legislature, House of Representatives Speaker, and how the Speaker may be removed from office for cause. This is simply a violation of political question doctrine. Under Liberian law, the political question doctrine is a principle rooted in constitutional interpretation that holds certain issues that are more appropriately addressed by the political branches of government, that is, the executive and legislature, rather than the judiciary. This doctrine is derived from the doctrine of separation of powers, which is enshrined in Article 2 and 3 of the 1986 Constitution of the Republic of Liberia. Key features of the political question doctrine under Liberian law. 1. Judicial restraint. Liberian courts, particularly the Supreme Court, have held that where a matter is inherently political, involving policy decisions, or the discretion of the executive or legislature, the judiciary
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm really, really sorry. No sound. I just got that. So for those of you watching us live, let us know if you're getting sound now, please. I do apologize for the lack of sound earlier. So just let us know if you are getting us now. Those of you watching us live on Phone TV Live, Fabric TV Live, Super TV Live. Okay. Francis, there are two. I got the pronunciation of the name right. All right. So Francis says there is sound. Another Francis says there is no sound. Okay. Yeah, Prince Henry Gay says there is sound. Yeah, so I think majority carries the rule. Emmanuel Bondo has also told us that there is sound. Prince Pega has also said the same. Thanks to all of you. So I think Francis. Okay, Francis now says there is sound. Okay. So good morning and welcome. And let me recognize all of you watching us live on Spawn TV this morning. Emmanuel K. Topa Jr. Watching from Cox City. Isaac Adamso is following the show this morning. Eric McGill, one of our ardent and religious followers, is following the show this morning. Prince Henry Gay is following from Grand Jide. Good morning and welcome. Prince Yanka is following the show. David Flomod is following the show as well. Theo Sugar Yeman is following the show. Jackson Mo Dumont is following the show. Emmanuel Bondo is following the show. Good morning to all of you following the show this morning. Welcome to it, and let's have a wonderful time together right here this morning. So what do we have on our plate? This morning, we delve into the issues that matter to Mama Liberia. Yesterday, the LNBA, the Liberia National Bar Association's president, Ono Vama, held a press conference, disagreeing with several key points within the Supreme Court of Liberia's ruling. Yeah, we'll be delving into that. Folks from the Unity Party have endorsed the statement or the press conference from the Liberia National Bar Association. But folks from the opposition are saying, hey, what's happening with the president of the bar? Is exposing the bar to public ridicule. And they are accusing him of being a partisan of the Unity Party and taking his partisan view at the level of the National Bar Association. As a matter of fact, Bono M. Vama contested for the representative seat in District number 1, Bapuru County, on the ticket of the Unity Party. That's a fact. So other folks feel that he's a member of the Unity Party, and so his views on behalf of the LNBA are aligned with that of the Unity Party. But we'll be opening the lands here. We'll be opening the land so that you can call in and, have to say on some of the the issues we have on our plate here. So at 9 o'clock, we play host to the Deputy Director General of the National Archive, Center for National Documents and Records Agency. Mr. Gabriel Duman will be here with the Communications Director of the National Archive here this morning. I know a lot of you heard about the National Archive, but you don't know much about the functions, the role of that agency of the government. You don't know, and it's important to know the role of that agency of government. Most people know the archive to just be for offering services like not birth certificate, but marriage certificates, and storing national documents. But I think the functions of the archive transcends that. It goes beyond that. But those over the hem of authority there at the archive will be here this morning to tell you more about the functions of the archive and what are some of the things they are doing to improve access to national records or documents. So that's coming up at 9 o'clock. But in the meantime, between time, folks, we cut across Liberia to speak with our various correspondents who will be telling us exactly what's happening in their various counties. We understand yesterday there was a protest at Lacra. We're hoping to speak to some of the protesters this morning on the show once they consent to speaking with us. We reached out to them earlier, but they said they wanted to do some consultation before appearing on the radio or speaking to us via the telephone here this morning on the radio. So once they get back to us, we're going to be hearing to them on what basis or what's the rationale of their protestation yesterday at Lacra. So let's try to cut across Liberia now to speak with our correspondent, beginning with Victor Cooper there in Nimba County. He's our Upper Nimba County correspondent, to see if we can get him on this morning to tell us what's happening there in Nimba County. All right. We also cut across. We speak to our correspondent in Bong and Grand Bassa counties as well. So now we have Victor Cooper on the line from Nimba County. Victor, good morning and welcome.
So good morning, JKC. Good morning to our people in Mauritius, and good morning to you this morning.
Okay, it's good having you. How is Nimba County, Upper Nimba particularly?
Nimba is doing better with okay. We just ended the election, but then everyone have been expecting the by-election coming on the show number 5. So we just try to acquaint you with the information coming from the show number 5 as to how the process is right now. Nimba is politically charged right now when it comes to politics and our by-election. And basically on a go from candidate to secretary as well, how far we gone. We also want to talk about that.
Yeah, okay. Let's hear firstly about the expected, highly anticipated by-election there in district number 5, Nimba County. That's caused by the ascendancy of Samuel Koga, who was a representative to the senatorial position there after the just ended senatorial by-election in Nimba County. So yeah, you just want to drill us through what are the politics playing there right now? Who are those that are expressing interest in contesting in that by-election? I understand Goto won Kwagru. Koto. Yeah, Koto. Koto was the closest rival to Samuel Koga in the last election? Is he contesting or not? And what are some of the names that are tipped to maybe contest that election?
So Koto is contesting, like you rightfully said, Yekezi. So basically, there are a few names we have gathered in district number 5. But before we go through those names, what is emanating in the district is that Koga is almost like a godfather too in the district.
Okay.
So if he speaks, everyone, I'm listening to him in that district. So on the basis of that, many people are already making their way to him for numerous consultations as to whether he will permit them to contest. But it is challenging.
As to whether he will support them, not permit them.
Yeah, of course. Okay, support them. Thank you. Support them. Even though they got their own right to contest as well, but support them.
Yeah.
So on the basis of that, Koga was also, in fact, he left from the district yesterday. He arrived in the morning. So he left from Moravia yesterday afternoon. We have gone to speak to him, but according to him, the leaders and elders in the district will be the one being consulted first, coming up with their needs, and after those needs, then they will decide which one to carry in the district. But names that are coming out in the district, we have about 7 to 9 names right now that are having possessions that are contesting. So let me just have them quickly for you. District number 5, you have like Koto Kwagu, the referee talk about. Koto Kwagu is contesting. One Ibrahim Kapo is contesting. Augusto Mekwa is contesting. Samson Wuna is contesting. Joseph Way is contesting. Jesse Myanmar is contesting. Boris Balier is contesting. Stevie Manto is contesting. Peter Wiatu is contesting. Dan Yua is contesting. Takpo Member is contesting. And Jackson Yowu is also contesting. And with Cyrus Nin still coming up on the district.
What about Blue One, the contender in the senatorial by-election?
Mark Blue One here from district number 6. We're discussing district number 5.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, so now, what talks are you hearing? What talks are you hearing about? You know, a support from Koga of all those candidates that you just named, because like you said, a support from Koga would be very crucial in enabling any of these candidates to win the election. So what are talks, what are hearsays you are getting about Koga's support to any of those candidates?
And Koga's support to any of them will come to maybe the possibility of that person winning the election. Because Koga is almost the voice of that district. But on the basis of that, you have Koto Kwaku. It's one person who is named, have been taken in the district. You know, Koga serious Koto embarrassed Koga in the just end election. Koto seriously embarrassed on Koga in very close to him. I think with just few points between them, and Koga not being maybe the position at that time, no one win election easily. But so Koto have been very close to him. So next to Koto is also the Omenko Augusto Mekwa. Augusto Mekwa is also very close around there too, and he have been servicing. And then Mr. Peter Wiatu, who have been contesting.
Do you see the possibility of Koga supporting Koto?
No, that individual difference. Koga will decide. That what Koga is saying, he will first listen to the elders from his family.
I'm asking this question because I understand Koto has a very, very good relationship with the vice president of the Republic of Liberia, and he may use that relationship with the vice president, you know, to get Koga support his representative bid.
It can be. You can see the analysis is not bad. It's a good analysis, but on the basis of that, you also know that when we talk about the relationship with the vice president, one Augusto Mekwa it's also very close to the vice president too, and being very close to on Koga too as well. So there where the embarrassment will come. So at that maybe where there will be little ego, and then they will decide as to who they can support between Augusto Mekwa and that of Koto Kwagu, because the two of them are very close to the two people.
Okay. Thank you very much. Any other development?
Yeah, so we also want to navigate on the roads from Kanta to Secretary. Recently we were here on the election process. The vice president were kind of a tour in our place. So I want to assure you that the process have begun already. The first grading process have been dealt with. So they are trying to push on the road, the first cross route, so that those places are left in between.
You're talking about the road from Gompa to Saclapie.
Yes. It did not come to completion at the time. It came to a standstill in the campaign period 2023. So they are embarked on it. Almost, in fact, it has started now. So what they're doing the first cross route laying, and after that, they'll start the pavement.
Okay, that's a good news for the people of Nimba County. Thank you very much, Victor Cooper, if that's all you have for us.
Sure, it's a pleasure. We have to other things, and we hope tomorrow we're going to come out.
Okay, thank you. Victor Cooper is our Nimba County correspondent there, speaking to us from Gompa City, Nimba County. So let's now cross over to King Brown. King Brown is there in... Okay, so let's just stop by in Bong County before going to Bassa. To speak with Conquad Woka-Colley. Conquad is our Bong County correspondent, and we understand that some infrastructural development or improvement has been done there at the Bong. Is it a technical college? Conquad, welcome.
Good morning, and good morning to the people there in the nation's capital. Good to be on this morning, sir.
Okay, yeah. So just bring us up to speed. We understand that there's been some improvement at the Bong College. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, that's the Bong County Technical College.
Okay.
Yeah. So we've observed improvement in infrastructure at the Bong County Technical College, BCTC for short. The Bong County Technical College was officially opened to the public in 2013, and they started at Tigray High School in Banga when the facility was under construction, because the construction started in 2010. And of course, there was an allocation that was during the administration of former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. The construction was started on that facility, but many citizens complained about the completion, the timeline set up for that particular college. It was challenging to have the facility completed. So the students initially started attending a high school in Bong County. They were using a facility, that's the Tobin Gray High School, and later they moved on the campus following series of protests, and were in the building at the same time. Infrastructure was ongoing. So Dr. John Flomo was the first president. He was there, did his part. And after the 2017 election, came on board the president of, the president honored former President George Weah, one Dr. Massaquoi. Dr. Massaquoi took over, and he served for the 6th year, and also played his part by doing the tying of the entire building as well, also window glasses. So when this government took over, under the administration of now the current president, Joseph Newman Boakai, they appointed Dr. Alfred Ntakawia, a son of Bong County, and who has been in education business for a while. He was at Cotton University. Under his watch, currently, we've observed transformation in infrastructure at Bong County Technical College. When he took over newly...
So when you talk about transformation, what specific in infrastructural transformation are you talking about?
Well, when Dr. Alfred Ntakawia took over, the nursing program was closed.
Okay.
The nursing program was closed due to the lack of some major infrastructure, like the student center. There were no student center. That was one thing. The Liberia Board of Nursing, and midwifery complained about, and also the assembly hall wasn't completed. It was not up to date. But right now, you can see if you visit the Bong County Technical College, we got the people of Bong County got state-of-the-art, assembly hall right now. And, several other offices have been improved. The facility has started taking the real shape in terms of improvement. You enter the building, the lighting system, everything. Just so many transformation for infrastructure development. Of recent, the Erie Catch at the back of the building. Currently, they have a photo garden as well, where people who will be graduating, where they will do some nice photos. That area was also prepared as well. And just so many things, and the administration of Dr. Alfred Sintakawea has been praised for this different development, because these are different things that were now observed on the previous administration.
Okay. Have you been able to inquire from him? Where is he getting, the finance from to carry out all of these initiatives?
On his watch, it has been made clear that each budget year, the budget coming from national level, there's something there specifically for infrastructure.
Okay.
Infrastructure development.
Okay.
So when he
that's coming from the government.
Yeah, that is from a national budget.
Okay.
Yeah, and so every budget year you made new plan for infrastructure development. So 2 budget year he has spent there, like 2024 and 2023, 2024, and also 2025. These are the improvement we see at the Bong County Technical College through the national budget.
And what's the citizens? What's the citizens and the students of the college? Reception. How's their reception like towards these developments?
They are so happy. Prior to Dr. Takawea taking over the Bong County Technical College, the enrollment was at 600. But when it took the kind of improvement, right now the enrollment has increased to 1,500 students at the Bong County Technical College currently. And the citizens are so happy. People are bringing their, children, encouraging sons and daughters of Bong County to attend the Bong County Technical College based on the kind of improvement they see, not just infrastructure, but those who are in the classroom, they are well qualified to deliver the lesson. Quality education is being provided at the Bong County Technical College. The citizens are so happy. These are things they didn't see under the previous administration, but under this current administration, they see this different development. They've been so happy. Also, the students as well. If you check on the Facebook, you see them posting, praising the Bong County Technical College, and it is even encouraging more people to attend the college as well.
Okay, Konkoi, thank you very much for filling us in with that development. Hope to join you another time for more updates.
You're welcome, Yegazi.
All right, so folks, that's it. Konkoi Bokakoli is our correspondent there in Bong County. Let's now cross over to Bassa County quickly. Just before we discuss some national issues, to speak to King Brown. King Brown is our Bassa correspondent. So let's see if we can speak to him this morning on the show. If you just joined us, you are listening to the Today Show. Better say the morning show. We are coming to you live and direct from Odious Congo Town in Monrovia, Liberia, via our various platforms, Spawn FM 107.5, Fabric 101.1, and via our various social media platform. We'll have on the line now King Brown from Bassa County. King, good morning and welcome.
Well, good morning, Embassy. I'd like to say good morning to all of our listening audience. I'm glad this morning to be on the platform from Bassa. Thank you for the opportunity.
Okay, it's good having you from Bassa. How is Bassa this morning?
Well, Bassa is relatively cool. Since I woke up this morning, I've experienced disturbing news across the county. This morning, we are experiencing a very good weather condition here. And every single individual this morning, we are observing that they are moving from one foot to another in Canada.
Okay. So now just go ahead and tell us what's unfolding there quickly.
Well, what's unfolding as a speak in Bassa, as you may be aware, the student community, the 15 high school students from different schools, and they have prepared to sit for the national exam. And of course, on yesterday, those students visited the office of the superintendent, and the superintendent, Mr. Kai Johnson, was admonishing them, encouraging them about how they should show that they focus on their lessons, they study well so that they can make the county proud. Because mind you, for every time the West African Senior School Certificate Examination Council giving out results, they will always sometimes do it per county, and know which county had the highest passing of students. So as far as back as 2017 coming upward, we are witnessing that superintendents of the county have been fully involved when it comes to encouraging and motivating senior high students that will go and sit for the national exam. So on yesterday, Mr. Kai Johnson, who is not the first superintendent to do that, but it happened under the previous superintendent, on yesterday met with the senior high students of Bassa County, and he encouraged them, told them that they should prioritize their education in order to build their country. So as part of his engagement with the student community, he presented $50,000 for contributing towards getting some of their wax materials, ensuring that some of their fees, their hostel registration fees and all of that, to get prepared to run the national exam in the coming days.
Okay, was this money given directly to the students, or it was given to the schools at the schools administration?
So the money was given directly to the students who went to the office of the superintendent, because they were invited there. So the money was presented to them in cash. Okay, so it was not given to any school authority.
All right. So who are the students who went there? Is it the public school students? A mix of students from public and private institutions.
So what happened is, what a period the county chief executive officer, normally when they are doing these kinds of things, they do not distinguish between government schools and publicly run schools. That's private run schools. What they normally do is they consider whether from private institution or from public institution. They consider all of them as senior high student of Grand Bassa County. So they give support to all of the students with all distinguishing whether this is from private school or this is from public school. So all of them, they are under one partner called the Grand Bassa Senior High School students.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, King Brown. If that's all you have for us.
Well, you can see, apart from that, as you may be aware, we are fast ending with the dry season, and now we are approaching the rainy season. The pro tem of the Liberian Senate and Senator of Bassa County, Honorable Nyobli Kanga Lawrence, on yesterday, she and her team embarked on the recondition of some community roads here in Buchanan. Among the communities we observed, we saw Sugar Hill community the roads being motor-graded since 1992, when that community got established, and that roads have been very bad. Community members have been raising a couple of concerns that leaders have abandoned their community, and the roads cannot allow cows to access their community. It was on yesterday when Senator Lawrence decided to make some sort of intervention to ensure that she can start motor-grading that road. So that project is not under the county's social development funds, because the county itself, as we speak, the county itself selected 12 key communities where, as we speak, the county is motor-grading the community roads, like Maritime community, like up of Buchanan going to the Saki Code Way, going to Gosson, to Otis Sport. The county itself motor-grading those major 12 community roads. But apart from that, the pro tem of the Liberian Senate was observed yesterday motor-grading other community roads, and beginning with Sugar Hill community. So that's the development currently in Buchanan when it comes to Senator Lawrence's own intervention, opening community roads.
Okay, and I think that's a good development, especially as we've just entered the rainy season. I think it's a good time to begin rehabilitating those roads, because when we get in the middle of the rainy season, it's going to be impossible to grade those roads now. And of course, if not graded right now, they are going to be very deplorable, thereby posing hindrance for travel, smooth transportation in the state of Buchanan. So I think that's a good initiative. Thank you very much, King Brown.
Thank you, Legacy. It was a pleasure. Thanks so much.
All right. So King Brown is our Grand Bassa County correspondent. If you just joined us, you were listening to the Today Show right here on Spoon 107.5 with me, Yekezi Zobe. We take a very short break. But as we take this break, you listen to the president of the National Bar Association, the Liberia National Bar Association. The LNBA held a press conference on yesterday, and in that press conference, they emphasized several issues relative to the ruling from the Supreme Court regarding the saga at the lower house. So the LNBA disagree with many points contained within the Supreme Court ruling. All right. One of the major things they said was that the Supreme Court previous ruling is kind of quite different from the current ruling, So, and a lot more issues he did mention. So you listen to it. We'll come. We sample your views about what you make of that. Folks from the Unity Party have welcomed the stance of the Liberia National Bar Association, but folks from the opposition have said that the Bar Association's president is being political, is speaking based on his affiliation with the Unity Party. As a matter of fact, they have even alluded to his participation in the District Number 1 Bapolo County representative election, in which the president of the Bar Association contested on the ticket of the Unity Party. So they've considered him a partisan of the Unity Party, and they've considered his view as a partisan view, and they are calling on him, to either resign from the Bar Association presidency if he wants to play politics, or if he wants to align his views with a political party that he does support. Yeah, so you listen to his statement. We come back. We talk more about that and solicit your views as well.
Agreement with the court's interpretation and its practical implications on the doctrine of separation of powers. The LNBA affirms that a bill of information as a procedural tool is designed to clarify the implementation of a judgment or bring to the court's attention issues affecting its mandate. It is not and should not become a substitute mechanism for certain inherently political questions, particularly those relating to the internal organization, leadership, or operational independence of the legislature. The ongoing conflict within the House of Representatives is a matter that, though it may involve constitutional questions, is primarily political in nature. It requires political resolution through institutional dialogue, consensus building, and adherence to democratic norms, while the court may offer interpretative guidance on legal issues. The enforcement and implementation of its opinion in such matters depend heavily on political goodwill and respect for constitutional boundaries. The LNBA is concerned that repeated reliance on the judiciary to resolve legislative disputes may erode public confidence in the independence of both branches of government and may set a troubling precedent while political actors abdicate their responsibility to resolve internal conflicts. Under aberrant jurisprudence and practice, a bill of information is intended to clarify or enforce a judgment where there is confusion or obstruction, while the court's decision to allow the bill of information was justified and procedurally correct, given the confusion surrounding the meaning and application of its prior ruling of December 6, 2024, the LNBA observes that the Supreme Court expanded the function of the Office of Bill of Information by reasserting and elaborating its prior ruling, effectively issuing a new substantive decision rather than simply clarifying it. This expansion risks inflating the Office of Bill of Information into a de facto remedial tool, inviting future parties to misuse it for re-litigation rather than seeking clarification from the Supreme Court. The LNBA asserts that on December 6, 2024, the Supreme Court ruled by indicating the following: wherefore, in view of the foregoing, any sitting or action by members of the legislature not in conformity with the intent of Article 33 and 49 of the 1986 Constitution are authorized. Hence, members of the House of Representatives are to conduct themselves accordingly. The clerk of this court is hereby ordered to inform the parties, and is hereby so ordered. Distinguished members of the media, Rule 4, Part 12 of the revised rules of the Supreme Court of Liberia prescribe the Office of Bill of Information as follows. A bill of information will lie to prevent a judge or any judicial officer who attempt to execute the mandate of the Supreme Court in an improper manner.
Okay, so that's the president of the Liberia National Bar Association, Councillor Bono Vama, there speaking. In summary, what did he say? He said the Supreme Court made a serious error by issuing two conflicting rulings in the same constitutional case involving the saga at the lower house, at the House of Representatives. So yesterday at the news conference, Councillor Varman said that the court should not have used a bill of information to reopen a settled case. Okay, so his argument was that this action by the court of using a bill of information to reopen a settled case undermines the rule of law and violates the principle of separation of powers, according to him. So he went ahead and warned that if the majority block's actions are illegal, then it means the 2025 national budget, which this same majority block passed, is illegal as well. And he also said those involved may have committed an offense by participating in the process, including the Supreme Court of Liberia, because it is this same budget that the Supreme Court of Liberia has been operating in. All right, so he went on to call on the court to reconsider its ruling and avoid overstepping legislative matters. And according to him, the court's decision violates the political question doctrine and Liberia's constitution. And he said that the Liberia National Bar Association would not support any overreach by any branch of government. So he said the court urged the Supreme Court. But I think when an issue like this, when someone makes a statement, I think it's important, and I'm talking to the opposition, because there have been a lot of opposition to the stance of the Bar Association. One member of the opposition, posted on their social media page, saying that the president of the Bar Association is a partisan of the Unity Party, and that he contested in the Bong County District Number 1 representative election on the ticket of the Unity Party, which is true, which is a fact. And now he's president of the Bar Association and making views that align with the Unity Party, and so some members of the opposition are saying that, I mean, his view is is aligned with the view of the Unity Party, and so he's a partisan of the Unity Party. And he's only saying that, or the buyer only took that stance through him, only because he does support the Unity Party. But for me, what I think is when somebody makes a statement, why it's true sometimes you need to take into consideration the background of the person, the political affiliation of the person, and all of that. But also, you also want to, look at the statement. You want to digest and assert the statement of the person, whether it's logical, whether it's illogical. I think the issue should be discussed, especially for those who I consider as legal luminary. So if you are a legal luminary, and another legal luminary comes up and say criticize a ruling from the Supreme Court of Liberia, I think you look at the points made by that particular individual and come up with your own legal views. Come up with their own legal views. If it makes sense, I mean, it's left with the public to discern who's right or who's wrong. But not to want to maybe attach the person to a certain political. Yes, that it matters, but I think it's not very, very important. What's important is you peruse what the person say, you listen to what the person say, their points, and you counter argue the issues that the person mentioned, but not to want to attach the person to a certain political party, the person views to a certain political party, or say that the person is making that view because they are member of a certain political party. Let's listen to what he said. Does it make sense? Legal luminary. What is your counter argument? Provide a counter argument against what he said. And then you leave it with the public to do their own judgment. The Supreme Court has ruled. The Supreme Court is the highest court of the land, and we all do support a respect of the rule of law. We all do call on the government to respect the ruling of the Supreme Court. Why it's true that other institutions like the LNBA, individual citizens have the right to criticize the Supreme Court's ruling, but that's the Supreme Court. Once it makes a decision, it stands. Once it makes a decision, that decision stands. But a lot of you have been listening to Vama Bono's press conference yesterday on behalf of the LNBA, the Liberian National Bar Association. Of course, we do also look up to the Liberian National Bar Association because this is an association that comprises several lawyers, counselors. They are legal luminaries. They are legal experts as well. So when a legal matter is discussed or ruled into by the court, yes, we do expect them to come up with their own legal view, with their own analysis, with their own opinion about what has been said. Okay, and I think that is exactly what the Supreme Court did. But you too have your own, right to make judgment about what the Supreme Court has said. So we open the lines for the next, let's say, 7 minutes to hear from you. Call us on 0770, 4177240 88 0555 101075 are the numbers to put you through court and have your say. What do you make of the LNBA's reaction to the Supreme Court's ruling? All right. So at 9 o'clock, we'll play host to the Deputy Director General of the National Archive, Mr. Gabriel Doman, and his Communication Director, Kapi Nuri. They're going to be our guests here at 9 o'clock, and we're going to be discussing issues relative to the archives. Yeah. So I understand they are already here. So let's take a few calls. 0770-417724, 0770-417724, 0555-101075. Let's talk to this person. Good morning, your name and where you join us from.
Morning, this is Jerry Taylor. I'm calling from Canada.
Taylor, let's hear you, Taylor.
Yeah, my brother, the point that strike is all the point of somebody, the first ruling that she think always, she said that in fact, the court cannot rule anything, another branch of government, they should go and settle it. Now, Edwin Snow came on your radio station, he said that particular woman is my woman. I will make sure that anything I tell her, my former woman, she will listen to me. And what I want her to do, she'll do it.
Is that what Edwin Snow said?
He said I
have everything that
you know. Then from there, let me tell you something. What we're talking about, the men and policy. And you look at that woman, the day they made her, even the Chief Justice, she said, even when after the election, nobody should get on the street. When you get on the street, you go to the court, you deal with you. And the woman is a traveler, she's from Sando. And she was seditious, just a cabal seditious. You know how many seditious on that bank?
Thank you.
And you see, talking.
Thank you very much. Let's talk to the person.
Yeah,
hello.
Good morning.
Your name and where you join us from?
My name is James Emperor, and I do join from Makongo Town.
Okay, let's hear you.
Yes. Okay, strictly to the discussion. So, if the opposition says based upon the affiliation of the bad president, what he makes such a statement, then we go back to the Chief Justice, because the Chief Justice by affiliation, she is the wife of Senator Snow, who is affiliated with CDC. So can we say that the Chief Justice ruling is based upon CDC mandate? Can we say that to say the saying that because the back came up with a statement and is in favor of the opposition? Can we say also the Chief Justice ruling came based upon the affiliation of CDC?
Thank you for calling. Call us on 0770-417724, 0555-101075, 0555-101075 are the numbers to put it through. Like I said, shortly at 9 o'clock we'll play host to Mr. Gabriel Doma, Deputy Director General, right? Yes, Deputy Director General at the National Archives. So he's already here in studio. He's going to be here alongside the Communications Director at the National Archives. But let's take a few more calls and take a break to be back with them. Good morning, your name and where you join us from? Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah.
How are you? Let's hear from you.
Yeah, my name is Larry Petombo, calling from the Canada Bill.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, my brother, the Bar Association, they themselves, they have influence, because if you look at the justice system, this is the reason why government set up all of these things, because these people that work for the term of justice, they are human beings, they will make mistakes. So everybody have bosses, my brother. The same way the other people on the other side saying this, the man is I call him the policy and what.
Who has made mistake in this case?
He was she's in line with some other or how would I put it? So the fashion with the other guys on the other side against the government. So the only thing we all have to do, as you were just saying, is citizens, we are side. Simple.
All right. Thank you very much. Let's talk to another person. Good morning, your name and where you join us from?
Good morning, brother. How are you?
I'm good. Let's hear you.
Okay. Did you listen to Spunton last night? You know that there's a breaking news that come up. My name is Ali V. calling from Kankema.
Go ahead.
Yeah. There's a man who called last night on Spunton. He said we should observe that lady passport and observe Edwin Snow passport
and observe the former speaker passport.
What's wrong with the passport?
The top gave in there. That's the top there. You say that's the top. That's the idea there.
Well, what kind of idea now? You say somebody call on the spoon talk and say we should look at the Chief Justice passport, Edwin Snow passport, and that of the speaker. For what? What are we looking for there?
It said the government should look at the one in the Middle East and what they went for there.
Two of them went in the Middle East?
Yes.
For what?
Okay, that's a good question. That's a good question.
Thank you for calling. Let's talk to another person. Good morning. Your name and where you join us from? Good morning. Let's hear you.
I'm from 540 Congo Town.
Yeah, go ahead.
You know, my brother, you see the country. If we not be careful with the country, we will damage the country because of what we think that we know.
Okay.
We said that the Supreme Court is the final arbiter of this law, of the law system in this country. Yes. When the Supreme Court speaks, the Supreme Court speaks forever. But if the Bar Association will be coming out to say things like this, and then when the other people mind what they are saying, he will be damaged to the country.
I think the Bar has a right to his view, right?
Yeah, they have the right. Yeah, are they not working in London another day?
The Supreme Court remains the final arbiter of justice in the country, but that does not mean that when the Supreme Court rules, nobody should criticize the Supreme Court rule. Other people may have opposing opinion.
You can criticize the Supreme Court rule.
Of course, that is exactly what the Bar did yesterday.
Hello?
Is that not what the Liberia National Bar Association did yesterday?
You see, the National Bar Association is saying that everything is legal because what the people saying that the majority of the group was legal in doing all that things. So it means that everything they did there by passing the law or in the budget or whatever, the budget should be what is legal also. You didn't have a budget will be illegal. You think it will be good for this country?
Thank you very much. But I think that's the Bar's legal view about the ruling from the Supreme Court. Let's take this final call. Good morning. Your name and where you join us from?
Yeah, good morning. I'm Jake Francis Kidal this morning calling from previous today.
Okay, Francis, let's hear you.
Well, opinion is just opinion. Anybody can share opinion with Supreme Court ruling, but that does not change the Supreme Court ruling. However, the Bar is another constituted body constructed in the judicial system. And I believe that if the Bar has anything to do, they need to go in chamber, then to go on media and publicize the Supreme Court ruling. Even though the President of the Republic of Liberia has used her own wisdom in coping with the system today. And we know these are top of leaders in this country. And that we believe that our citizens will be protected and the government will move on. We cannot be host on hostage just because of one individual. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks for calling, and thanks to all of you who called and made your contribution, folks. We open the lines later on the show when we should have spoken to the Deputy Director General at the National Archives, so that you can call in and, give your perspectives on some of the things that he will be saying. I know a lot of you hear about the National Archive, but you probably don't know what its mandate is, what its function is. Probably some of you just know that, it offers marriage certificates and out of that, but the functions of the National Archive transcends that. And so the Deputy Director General, Mr. Gabriel Doman, is here to talk more about that alongside the Communications Director, Kapi Nuri. So we take this very short break to be back.
From doing so, mandate of the Supreme Court. B. A bill of information will also allow to prevent anyone whomsoever from interfering with the judgment and or mandate of the Supreme Court. From the above rule, it is overly clear that a bill of information in this jurisdiction, in its legal context and application, is a proceeding that complains of a judge or judicial officer who attempts to execute the mandate of the Supreme Court in an improper manner, or any person who interferes with the mandate of the Supreme Court. In other words, a bill of information may be brought against a judge, judicial officer, or any person whomsoever who acts contrary to the mandate of the Supreme Court by disobeying, interfering, or obstructing the mandate of the Honorable Supreme Court. The Bassa states that the December 6, 2024 ruling of the Supreme Court did not have any clear mandate to which the bill of information will lie. However, the bar agrees with the Supreme Court on the clear purpose of clarification of the December 6, 2024 ruling. The bar believes, therefore, that the Supreme Court erred by allowing informants in the proceeding to use the office of bill of information to have the Supreme Court issue a second opinion and a judgment in the same constitutionality case, which is very different from the first opinion in the same case.
Okay, pleasant welcome back. You are listening to the Today Show right there on Spoon 107.5. My name is Yekezi Zobe, and it's 5 minutes on the flip side of 9 o'clock. So like I informed you earlier that at about this time we'll be speaking to the Deputy Director General of the Center for National Documents and Records Agency, the National Archives of the country, and who also have the Director of Communications, Kapi Niri, alongside him. So I'd like to welcome you guys.
Thanks ever so much for welcoming us to your platform.
Okay, it's a pleasure. My God, okay, it's a pleasure having you.
Thanks ever so much.
Okay, Mr. Doman, welcome. I think this is your debut appearance on Spoon.
Thank you very much. I'm pleased to be here.
Okay, all right. Yeah, you just want to say a little bit about yourself before we go into the discussion.
Well, my name is Gabriel Doma. I hail from Nimba County, and I'm the Deputy Director General for CNDRA, which is Central for National Document and Record Agency, located on 12th Street.
Okay. Niri.
So I'm Kapi Niri. I'm the Communications Director at the National Archives, which is the CNDRA for short.
Okay. All right, let's jump into the discussion here. Firstly, there are people out there who just pass by, maybe in their personal vehicles or commercial vehicles, when they're passing along the 12th Street Boulevard area to see the archive. You know, they just see the building, and they don't actually know the functions of the archive. They don't actually know the mandate of this government agency. And some other people too think that maybe it's only for those who have been maybe married. They think that the function is only to maybe offer marriage certificates. But you just want to expand more for their understanding. What is the mandate and functions of the National Archive, beginning with you, Mr. Doma?
Oh, well, thank you so much, Yekezi. The National Archive was created through the Act of Legislation in 1977, to be precise, in November 1977. And this act was passed into Bill on February of 1979. And with that, in that act, the mandate of that act is to collect all government documents and records and preserve them. That is the number one mandate of the National Archive.
Okay.
And so basically, we also he's talking about preservation as well. We also make available public access to central government records that we have in our custody, and we also preserve, protect, and share those historical records to promote good governance in our country. So when you look at basically our vision is basically to enhance government information system and foster a sense of national pride. And we also engage Liberian public, meaning in so many activities, we collaborate with centralized agencies of government, ministries, agencies, commissions, autonomous agencies. We also build a better relationship with other international organizations as well. So the National Archives is serving as a registry for marriage certificate as well in the country. We also provide library services across the country. Is the National Archives' duty to establish local archives across the counties. So there are so many activities. We establish policies. We make sure that the management is there to develop the necessary procedures, standards, so that the institution can be able to go forward. So there are so many things running through the archives there. Not only marriage certificate, we deal with legal instruments. When we talk about legal instruments, we talk about article of incorporation, letter of administration, code decree of sale, constitution, and so many other legal instruments that we're dealing with at the archives. You know, we're also responsible for the issuance of single status certificate, which is the single certificate, both the bachelor and the spinster.
Okay. And to be clear, on the marriage certificate issue, we are restricted.
Okay.
We only issue certificate for the European marriage.
Okay.
Not tradition.
Okay. That is a statutory marriage.
Yeah, so as per the IDA established the archives, it says we're supposed to be responsible for all marriages in the country. But because, you know, there's one government, so we have to, the internal affairs is basically responsible for the traditional aspect. So at the archives, there are a few core values that we upheld. We promote honesty, we promote accountability, integrity, excellence, collaboration, innovation, professionalism, transparency, and fairness as well. So the institution is promoting good governance.
Okay. Now, talking about the National Archive being the center for national records of keeping or preserving national documents. So the question is, how does the archive go ahead to do that? How do you store? How do you preserve national documents? Is it maybe physically? Is it digitally? How do you do that?
Oh, well, for now, it has been physical since the onset of the institution. It means we keep physical papers, government-related documents. But in the 21st century, you know, people try to strive to get alongside other developed nations. That is by digitizing documents.
Okay.
And those are some of the challenges we've been faced with. I think we'll go in depth at a later time.
And in addition, we have the electronic component, which is the digitization aspect. But the entire documents at the archive is now fully digitized. So basically, we deal with manual and electronic as well. Okay. So we have the DSC, which is the Digital Scanning Center, which is actually responsible for all of the digital documents that have been digitized since 2012, 2013, 2014, land deeds, letter of administration, code decree of sale, and those other legal instruments as well. So digitization is not fully digitized, but we deal with both electronic and manual.
So with the partial digitization process that you just talked about, you said you're using an electronic means. Does that mean that maybe the public can be able to access some documents belonging to the Center for National Documents and Record Agency via maybe the internet, via other digital platforms?
When I talk about digitization, we have a digital system portion of it, and most of those documents, they are not meant for public consumption. Some of the documents, yes, but we just deal with a client.
We said that they are not meant for public consumption.
There are some documents that are not meant for public consumption, like we have classified documents, trade security related things. So right now, we don't have a full platform where we put all of the information, but if you can, we can also access our marriage certificate application online. It's online as well. When you go, we have the platform as well. We have our Facebook platform where you can go and see developments taking place. But to say we have those services where you can just stay anywhere around the world and apply for maybe your marriage certificate, or no, that is not happening because we don't have a fully digital system.
Okay, let me just add up. Okay, those who have gone through that process of digitizing their document. Like, for example, if you go to our entity to search, maybe you did your marriage certificate some years ago, and it's then digitized. We will only go in our system and search for your name. Okay. If we search for your name, definitely your document has been digitized and the record all there in our system. Instead of going into the repository to be flipping paper by paper to search for your file and then pull it out. No. Okay. But unlike that, all have not been done. So we are in the process of completing all that, so that anytime somebody hit the National Archive, you just go straight and maybe put in for search. I came to search for XYZ, then go to the center who responsible, then they just log in your information and your information will pop up. Sometimes you need satisfied copy, then they reprint it for you.
So, and to follow to that, the administration, Honorable Dean Nelson Benga and Honorable Gabriel Doma, they are basically working to ensure that the archives has a digital system. So we have submitted a project for the Hungary grant. The government is working on a 50 million Hungary grant. So the archives have submitted a proposal so that we can be able to tap into that money, at least $1 million or $2 million, so that we can digitize the entire archive system in Liberia. Because the importance of digitization is that it eases too many things. You just stay to somewhere and you apply, you pay for your services using your Visa card, and you get your documents done in time. So there wouldn't be any delay in accessing our services. So they are actually working well, and the process is ongoing. We hope that at the final end we can get something better from that grant.
Okay, yeah. So let's talk about something that I think the public is more concerned about. The process of obtaining a marriage certificate. So you just want to drill us through what's the procedure? What are the requirements? What do I have to do to be able to get a marriage certificate, particularly for the statutory marriage or the European wedding? Yeah.
Okay, so for the marriage certificate, is 150 United States dollars, or is equivalent to Liberian dollars. And there are requirements. You must have your single copy of your single certificate, the bachelor for the men and the spinster for the woman, a copy of that. That is $15
each. Before getting the marriage certificate, you must have
those are the requirements. Bachelor certificate. Okay. You must provide passport size photo with white background, 2 each. Okay. You should bring either a copy of your national ID card, your photo registration ID card, your birth certificate, or valid driver license. Yeah. You also provide health certificate, which is the medical certificate from recognized hospital in Liberia, not clinic. Recognized hospital, like the GFK, the Catholic Hospital, Redemption Hospital, recognized hospital. So when you have all those documents, you come to the archive. We have the customer service center. You go to the customer service center, they will bill you, and when they bill you, they send you to the bank to pay the money to LRA. After the payment, you come back to the office and then present the receipt. Then we can print out the application form for you. You fill in the application form and attach all your necessary documents, and then we process your certificate. Usually we issue the certificates 2 days prior to your wedding. Okay. Yes. So the administration has reduced the service delivery time, because sometimes it used to be 1-2 weeks before people have access to that marriage certificate. Now we are doing print on arrival. So it's just 3 business days. Within 3 business days, you can get your marriage certificate done. So we got
3 days.
Yeah, 3 days. So there is something called certified copy. If your marriage certificate lost or damaged, you can also apply for a certified copy. That certified copy is the same as your marriage certificate, but you have to go through a procedure. You have to pay for search. We have to search the system. The search is $25. When we search the system and it's there, then we issue you a confirmation letter telling you, yes, your marriage certificate was issued by us and is here. Then you pay $50 for your certified copy. That's how it is. But if you were married before, and then you intend getting married, you want to remarry, you have to go through the court, do your divorce. Okay, then you do the registration, the bill of divorcement registration to the archive before you apply for your marriage certificate.
Okay. In addition, as Neri rightly said, the fees for the marriage certificate is $150. But in addition, before we give you the marriage certificate, you got to prove to us that either you are bachelor and about to get married, or the lady is expensive.
How do I prove that?
Very good. Then in there, you got to pay us $15 each, both of you, to print you bachelor certificate and Spencer certificate. That will serve as a witness for us, because you will sign a paper that indeed you are single and you are putting in for bachelor certificate.
So you just have to say the commitment to the archive. The archive not going to pay you to do any research.
No, sometimes we do due diligence. Okay. Usually we have people that are on the field that do due diligence for these things. Okay. Yes, but sometimes people can come and they lie to us. But listen, if you come and lie, we check the system and your name is there, it's going to be a problem, because bigamy is a crime. An attempt to marry, you marry and you already want to get involved into another marriage or divorce is a crime. It's punishable under the Liberian law. So when we find out that you involved into bigamy, what we will do is that we will halt your marriage and then call the necessary authority to investigate you and turn you over for processing. So it's not just about us issuing the certificate, but that due diligence, that form you sign in case of litigation tomorrow when we go to court, we can bring that form out. So you don't hold the government liable for your false information, because we tell you the false information you provide, if we find out that it is wrong, you will be held liable and will punish you. You sign up to that.
So the total to get marriage certificate is $180. 150 plus 30. The 30 is split into 2, 15.
Yeah, for the bachelors.
Yeah, that's just part of the requirement. The reason why people pay 180 sometimes, some people can sit too long. They don't want to obtain the single certificate before going for marriage. So they come and ask us, oh, please process all 2, at the same time. Then we can just process both. So at that time, you will pay 180. But if you want to get married, like you getting married in August, you come now and you get your single certificate, the bachelor and the spinster, you keep it. So all you need to do is to just bring photocopy of it, and you pay the 150.
Okay, that's good. I think we'll open the lines later for the listeners to call in and ask questions they may have about that. But what are some challenges that you guys encounter when it comes to these things? When it comes to from your customers, from your clients, what are some challenges you sometimes encountered?
Yeah, there have been a lot of challenges. Sometimes we fail to do the right thing. People go, instead of going to the customer service and get information there, they would rather go on the other side, see anybody, oh, I came to do this and I want you to help me.
Okay.
in that vein, sometimes the people will not do right things. Some people will go to
don't want to follow the procedure.
Yeah, we'll go to watering center and bring them false people.
Okay.
And many a time I've been judging a lot of cases on that. So when it go now, after the wedding, when they bring it to us now, we find out that this people is fake. Then they will come in the system and try to get the person. And sometimes you see the person nowhere. So those are challenges, and we are high on that. We are very strong on that, putting, in place other method to try to cut down most of the things so that our client will be free. When they are doing the transaction, they will be free. And going through the proper channel.
Is it that the procedure is so bureaucratic that people are trying to bypass?
It's not. There are bad people everywhere. Okay. It's not because I just explained. Yeah, I just explained about the whole process to you.
Okay.
You get to the customer service window. The CSC will have a customer service responsible for customers, headed by Anli D and Tugbe. Okay, you get to the customer service window. You tell the people, "Oh, I'm here. I want to get married, June 20, 2025. Okay, they bill you. They have a tracking form. They will give you the tracking form. You will fill in the tracking form, your name, your contact number, everything. Then they bill you. They'll tell you, go to the bank and pay the money. You pay the money to the bank, you come back, and they give you your marriage certificate, the application form. You just fill in the application form right there, attach all the necessary documents. You leave it with us. The next thing, 3 days or 2 days to your wedding, we'll call you to come pick up your certificate. That's all. So there's no long procedure in obtaining a marriage certificate, especially we reduce the days to 3 working days. But there are bad people everywhere. They have people that are always in the habit of trying to spoil the system. Like the Deputy Director General said, now you find people around, criminals. They see people walking into the archive and want to get things done. Then they go to you and say, "Oh, what are you here for?" You say, "I'm here to do something." "Oh, yes, I can do that for you. We'll make sure we'll express it, we'll expedite it."
Some of those are
you're supposed to go to the
archive.
No. We're talking about strangers.
But how do you allow strangers to come?
No, you're standing right in front of the building, right?
Okay.
They can cajole people. I'm standing right in front of the building. I see somebody entering the archive. I go and intercept you. "Oh yeah, hello, what you can do?" Then you say you can do one certificate. I say, "Oh yeah, this is the president who can do it." And you convince, "Oh, I'm here." Sometimes they even tell you, "Say I'm here, I'm working here," and you agree because you decline. You don't want to follow the referral process. You just see somebody, you want the person to do your certificate. So they will take the money and eat the money. At the end of the day, it becomes a problem for us. Then when we say we're not issuing the certificate, you come and be crying, "Oh, and the mayor, he was right here, I gave him my money." We always say, don't give your money to an individual or someone standing on the road or on the roadside or right in front of the building. Walk to the customer service center. They will bill you. You go to the bank and pay the money yourself. Because like that, it also, harming the image of the institution. So the administration is doing all she can to tackle some of these things. That's why we have CCTV. We have installed a CCTV in the building to monitor the movement of employees and customers around. So that one is also a watchman for us as well.
For example, or EKZ.
Yeah.
There was a guy who walked in the building one time and brought a guy with phone. He had previously called a guy that he working to the National Archive.
Okay.
So he wanted phone. So he brought a guy over there into the building. He told the guy, "Give me the phone and make carry it off in my boss man sees it." That's how he left the guy sitting and passing on the other side. Can you imagine the guy is now working there? And it was just a serious problem. But as he said, we try to put in place mechanism, reinforce security. This is why we have put a CCTV almost everywhere in front of the building, and people who entering, they should always identify themselves. But unlike that, there were a lot of things happening, but we try to control all of them by putting mechanism in place to control all these things.
And to have a better customer relationship with our people, we have a suggestion box that the administration procure. That suggestion box is for customers to have their say. Tell us exactly what you like and dislike about the services and where we can improve on. So it's there. Customers need to tap into that. So when we have the suggestions from customers, we also work towards how we improve the system. We have a hotline, and that hotline, you can call the hotline if you're having issues, customer related issues. You call, and then we can help you sort your problem out. So the management is doing so much more. I mean, to help customers at least so that they can be able to get their documents on time.
Okay, you can see before we go further, let me just add something.
All right.
Okay. The other aspect is like land deed.
Land deed, okay.
People who had a land deed from the onset up to 2019 that was probated and registered in the archive. For example, if anything happened to your land deed, you can't be put in for search. We can give you a certified copy.
Okay.
But from 2019 up to this time, anything relating to land deed now, you want to find out, you register it before you go to the LLA. So specifically, I just want for to talk on a land deed issue so they can be in the know that we also do services like that by giving people certified copy.
Okay. Yes, we do the land decertified copy, especially from 2018 downwards.
All right.
Once you have your D in between that time and a loss or damage, you can come to the archives, apply for search, $25 for search. If we find it, we'll give you a discovery letter, tell you it's done. We have found it, it's in our system. Then you apply for the certified copy, which is $50. Okay. So when you do that,
but first, before that process, what's the initial process of getting my deed to the archive?
Now, land deregistration is not basically with us now, it's with the Liberia Land Authority.
Okay.
So the Liberia Land Authority has specific requirements and procedure for that.
Okay.
Before it was with us, then we can discuss that, but it's not with us now. But for the certified copy aspect, that's why we can tell you that we're responsible. You do your search, we check, because when you're doing the search, we can ask you to come with some documents. Like, okay, if the person,
so that is the land authority stores all of his deeds with you.
The land authority is currently in possession of deeds from 2019, 2020 to current.
Okay.
The archive is in possession of deeds from 2018 downwards, because in 2018 we turned that jurisdiction over to them.
Okay. So they got to keep it for certain length of time before they turn it over.
It's 10 years
national
for the archival age.
So, but we work together.
Okay.
And to make something clear, because when they talk about D, it's D that was probated and registered with the National Archive from 2018 down. Now, not just any D, because if we don't specify, people will call and be talking about D.
Okay.
But you can only search your D with us from 2018 downward if you probated it and register it by law. To be clear on that.
Okay. Yeah. So the services you offer, providing marriage certificates, preserving land deeds. And what else you said?
We do library services.
Library
as well.
services.
Record management services. We have the National Library. The National Library is on the Ashburn Street.
Okay.
And the library is there responsible. At the library, we have even an American shelf where you have the American people provided some books for students to come and read, do assignments. Then we have shelf for the Creator Lion, the Lion Club.
Okay.
They also have a shelf there. We have the Children Library at the National Library. We also have the Gompa City Library in Ganta City, Gompa area.
Okay.
So the library is basically supporting literacy programs, helping to support the cultural heritage of our country. And the head of that place is Christine Jadate. He's doing well there, and we can report to you that 900 users for 2024 were able. We hosted 900 users, so 900 people used that library in 2024. Yeah, so the library was also able to train 30 youth leaders how to apply for leadership programs, exchanges, education program as well. They serve as mentor to those people. They train them. So they also train people in library services.
Okay.
Yeah. So they are actually doing well, and we are actually looking for support for the library as well.
How does one get access to the library?
Right now, you just go to Ashman Street,
yeah,
and the team is there, and you tell them, I'm here to the library. I want to research on this. I want to research on that, and then they will tell you they have a whole full leadership,
okay,
and then they will usher you in to where exactly you want to go. If you want to check to the children library for information, they carry you there. If you want to check on some newspapers and other things, they know where exactly those documents are stored or kept. So they will direct you, and they will guide you, and you will do your assignment. It's open to the public. It's free.
Free of charge?
Free.
Okay.
The service is free. Nobody is paying anything. The service is free. We encourage people, students, to take advantage. And one thing I want to talk about, the archives is also open to researchers. There are so many researchers that can go to the archive, both local and internationally, to conduct research on historical documents. They come and do their theses. They go back.
And that is also free of charge.
It's free. It's free. We have the Freedom of Information Act that we are also promoting. The FOI, you can send your FOI requests to the information officer, and then the information officer will take that request to the relevant office to process a request. But if the document is not in our holding, we can refer you to somewhere that you can get it from.
Okay.
So the freedom of information is actually being implemented at the archives at a huge level. We have people calling us for so many things, and I can tell you, just recently we provided to the national legislature all of the speakers, previous speakers, deputy speakers. We provided the full name and photos to the legislature. They requested for that.
Okay.
So there are so many things we're doing. We have also provided the architecture of Monrovia. One scholar from France came. He asked for that. We checked and we provided it to him. So there are so many historical documents at the archives. We have the Constitution, we have the Declaration of Independence, we have treaties, we have agreements, and we have so many things. Even we have sorted the President Tubman, all of the records. We have a particular share. We have a specific section responsible for those documents. We have the archival section. We have public records section. Okay. The public records section deal with the public documents that are not. Those documents are not yet archival-ish. The archival department deal with the managed archival-related records. Okay. So when we talk about archival-ish, there are certain documents that you don't use frequently. Yes, and it has to be kept to the archival section. And documents like, for example, the archival age standard, all government decide, all institutions decide what archival age. But on the book, what we have studied is 10 years.
10 years.
So those documents from the public record transfer to the archival section, and the people there, they take care of that. They handle it. So the archival section also participated in the transfer of documents from the old maternity center to Capital Bypass. Those documents we had there were transferred to Ashman Street to the library, so that people can be able to have access to those documents and be able to read, conduct their research.
Okay, that's good. Let's come to you, Mr. Doman. One would like to know, your leadership is a new leadership. It's started by the President of the Republic of Liberia, His Excellency Joseph Boakai. Thus far, what has been your own accomplishment? Firstly, you just want to tell us your vision and what so far have you achieved there at the National Archives?
When we come at the archive, the study of everything is tough.
Okay.
There were a lot of challenges that we brought away. But as of now, we have managed to get our own 5-year strategic plan.
Yeah, when you talk about challenges, what were some of those challenges that you met?
When we got there, before you get to a job, you need logistics.
Okay.
You need car to be moving from place to place, but there was nothing like that. But the short time we've been there,
so when you went there, you didn't see car?
We have two buses just to take worker to work, and the bigger bus was not even in use.
Okay.
It was at the garage.
But the director general and the deputy director general should be assigned cars, right?
There was no car for them, but we have managed and we have procured car. 2 cars.
Were you able to inquire from the outgoing leadership?
Yeah, they gave turnover note.
Turnover note.
Yeah, but nothing was there like a vehicle used by director general or deputy director general.
Okay.
Yeah, we went through that, but as of now, as I said, there were a lot of challenges. But we've been working with the present government, the finance ministry, and we are getting things done gradually, because a lot of challenges and the trying to meet with challenges there were a lot of them. It was sit there to try to catalog everything. I think we still a lot of time here. But as far as I'm concerned, with the working of the National Archive, first of all, we try to do a plan, 5-year strategic plan.
All right.
So from last year up to 2028, what we'll be able to accomplish. And His Excellency Joseph Boakai government requested that, and we prepared that, we presented it to the cabinet. And that is like a blueprint of what we'll be doing from last year up to the end of the transition. But we broke it down into 5.
Okay.
We deal with the 5 years first, and at the end of that, then we will do another plan.
Okay. What's the content? What's the content of the plan?
So
what does that plan hope to achieve?
Yeah, so the strategic plan will serve as a roadmap to what we intend to do for the next 5 years.
Okay.
From now to 2029. Okay. So in the strategic plan, we talk about digitization of the archives, okay, modernization. So if we want to, right now we don't have a digital system that is online and people can access. So it's part of our strategic plan from now to 2029 that we can be able to have a digital system at the archives. Then in the strategic plan, we also have the construction of a national library. Okay. That national library, we are also working with a group, and there will be this construction of the Pan-African Library in Liberia on Nelson Street. So negotiations are ongoing. The president signed approved that already. So we hope that when everything is done, we can have that. It's in the 5-year strategic plan. Then the 5-year strategic plan also talk about the establishment of a national record center. A national record center that will host records from all government ministries, agencies, commissions, and all of that. So right now, there is no national record center because we have a challenge of space, storage capacity, okay, where we can store all of those documents from all government ministries and agencies. We can store everything at the national center. We need other local archives, and we need a national record center. That is in the plan. From now to 2029, we should be able to have a national record center as well. Then we talk about decentralization is also in the plan. Yeah. The decentralization of our services to the public is not only just about establishing the offices. Currently, as we speak, we have offices in the 15 counties. Okay. We have service center at the county service center. We have the windows of all the 15 counties that are providing services to the people there. So within that decentralization plan, we talk about, people will be able to just stay in the county, do the work, and use the internet and send it to the office, and it's approved, sent back, and you get it printed out. So those are the type of system we are actually working on. Then we talk about capacity building. Right. We need to build the capacity of youth. Employees there. The administration is very keen on that. So the capacity building, we talk about sending people, providing local and international scholarship for our employees. where we can be able to send some of them out of the country to study archival science and record management, library science, and in so many fields, so that they can come back and contribute to the institution, because this administration at the National Archives is so keen about the human development aspect of the institution, because when they came, what they saw, it was discouraging, so they decided to step up the game. So the institution, I can report to you that the institution sent Mr. William Johnson, who's the technical coordinator, to India.
Okay.
India for study. He's on his master program. Yeah. So it's based on that the institution looked at and said, no, we need to send people. And the institution is also contemplating on sending few other folks for a short-term program in other countries, in India, like a cover science program as well. So we have issued, in terms of accomplishment or major accomplishment, we have issued 2,650 marriage certificates for 2024. And we have also issued 5,426 bachelor and spinsterhood certificates. For legal instruments, we have registered 608 legal instruments so far for 2024. And then another big news is that for the revenue generation, we have collected 365,000 plus. We contributed that to the government, to the revenue of the country. Then we have generated 2 million Liberian dollars to the government, for the government as well. So there is this, because every year all government institutions can have a particular amount to generate.
Okay.
So we exceeded that. It was a pat on the back of this administration to do that. It wasn't easy. They had to take tough decisions, to cut wasteful spending, to do so many things. At a certain point, the deputy and the director general, when you go, oh, we need this, and we say, look, at this time, we can't take this. Copy, hold on to this. Like at a certain point, I say, I need this, I need that, I need a recorder, and say, copy, look, we handle the recorder aspect, but wait now. So there are so many things that are cut off just to generate money so that the government can be able to run. So the generation of revenue is not only for local institutions. All government institutions generate revenue. Okay. So in this year we are doing well, and we can tell you they also lobby. They have lobbied for a good budget. Though they're still in the process, it's not one day thing. So I can tell you the budget for the National Archives is somewhere around 280,000 right now.
Yeah, but you're collecting a lot of.
Yeah, we're collecting more than what we're even generating. So the leadership is trying to negotiate, and we hope that they can listen to the negotiation. I mean, it's embarrassing when the deputy director general told you about the vehicle aspect. It took up to a year before even getting a vehicle from the government. The previous director general, the vehicle he was using, that was auctioned by GSA, so they couldn't have access to vehicle at the time.
Okay.
Let me just come in a little.
Yeah.
You know, one thing we observed when we went to the National Archive is that the archive that's supposed to be the nucleus of government working. Because all the information from the past supposed to be at the National Archive, we feel that it has been looked down upon.
Okay.
Government are not really paying attention to the National Archive, the past government. So we are appealing to this government to really look in that direction. Can you imagine we are doing a project? There's a group from the Harvard University, because you know the former president.
Yeah.
Mana Ellen Johnson came from the Harvard.
Yeah.
So I think she applied for a group to come down and digitize all record at a time.
Yeah.
This record supposed to be digitized and kept somewhere. We don't even have space for it. They got to take that in a private location. But in going through that, they got to do it in acquiescence with the National Archive.
Sure.
And those are processes that we've been going through, and we liaised with the Justice Ministry, and they gave us the go ahead to try to help in that process to be able to digitize the former president document. It could happen tomorrow. our president now may leave the chair tomorrow and want all his documents to be digital.
Yeah.
They will come right back to the national archive. So this time we are talking to the government to pay attention to the national archive so that we'll be able to get space there by right. Every 3 months
we're talking about paying attention. Is it increasing your budget?
Budgetary allotment.
Because in a previous interview with the director general, he talked about low budgetary support to the national archive. So I don't know, but what has been your budget? The budgetary allotment. So
I just told you they have allotted 280,000.
280,000.
Yes, for 2025.
Yeah, and you said that is little. It's
little. We are generating more than what we're receiving.
No, the 220,000 because the budget there, the salary is around 700,000 and change just for salaries.
Salaries for workers, employees.
Salary for employee per annum.
Per annum.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the government for operational purposes allotted 250,000.
Only for operational purposes.
Only for operation.
Okay.
That is some are there for goods and services and for other workers.
Okay.
But that which is not even enough. One of our key mandates is to provide library services across Liberia.
Okay.
Can you imagine? We are not able. And we are talking about only the National Library on Ashmore Street and one, I would call it reading room in Ganta, in the whole of Liberia. So those are key things that we're supposed to be looking at, and we will continue to plead with the government to provide, allotment that will enable us to extend a library in all the other countries because the children deserve to read. They are going to school.
Of course. Okay, so folks, that's it. You were listening to the Today Show, better say the Spoon Breakfast program right here on Spoon 107.5. The show is being simulcast on Fabric 101.1, and we're live on Spoon TV Live, Super TV Live, Fabric TV Live, and at our YouTube channel. My name is Yekezi Zwobel, your host, and I'm here alongside Mr. Gabriel Doman, Deputy Director General for the Center for National Documents and Records Agency, alongside the Communications Director, Kapi Neri, and they've been discussing several issues pertaining to that government institution. So it's now your time to call and ask questions. Probably there are certain questions that I didn't ask. You want to make your own inquiry, you can now call and say that. Call us on 0770 41 77 24, 0770 41 77 24, or 0555 101075, 0555 101075. Those are the numbers to call on. 0555 101075 or 0770 41 7724. The numbers to put you through here this morning on the Today Show here on Spoon. Let's talk to this first person on the line. Good morning. Your name and where you join us from?
Good morning. I join you from Virginia, Mangotown. My name is P. Yekesi Santolo. I want to take you to the audience staff and talk about unprobate deeds, whether it can be sent to the ACA.
Okay, I think they talked about that, but maybe they just re-emphasize that. Keep listening.
Okay, my second one has to do with Mr. Doma himself.
Has to do with what?
Has to do with Mr. Doma himself.
Mr. Doma.
Yes, I just want to find out whether he's the corporate Doma that I know from Ghana. Usually affiliate with Bob Tolo.
Okay. Yes.
Okay,
he said yes.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's talk to another person on this line. Hello, your name and where you join us from? Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Your name and where you join us from?
I'm John David Morris. I'm calling from the what do you call it? Ministerial complex there.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, listen to the conversation between the people that are heading the concerned. But my question to them is that they are talking about just to make a research on the internet to get information on document that somebody make a follow up is $25.
No, they didn't say that.
Yes, I listened to that said when somebody go for search of information in order to get information from the system.
Okay.
It's cost $25.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Now,
go ahead.
They have to make it so expensive because you see, let me tell you something. It will make things expensive. That's why people leave and go to the World Trade Center to get a false document. You make it affordable for the people who cannot afford to be able to afford it. That's number one. Number two, all the money they are collecting. Now we have the what do you call it? The research center they have on Osborne Street. We are nation, a sovereign nation that have international regulation. That place they talk about research center. That place is not adequate enough. What are the plans to really evaporate? I mean, expanded that people will be able to see it as a nation, sovereign nation, and have a stand-up research center.
Thank you very much. They are going to answer those questions. Let's talk to this person. Hello, your name and where you join us from?
Good morning.
Good morning. Your name and where you join us from? Good morning. Are you there?
Yes. So my name is Wayu. I want to speak to the issue. Are we doing the education at the process?
We're not talking about La Cosa. Sorry, we're not talking about La Cosa. Let's talk to another person. Hello, your name and where you join us from? Hello? Okay, let's talk to this person on the orange line. Good morning, your name and where you join us from?
Yes. So,
hello. Calling from
Yeah, go ahead, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you this morning for the information, but my question has to do with I want to get married 2 years. Like, for example, today I go to pay the money at the registrar there, the ACA, but then they married, they didn't hold, and I got everything. So,
your line is breaking up. Are you talking about refund?
Refund.
Oh, you're talking about refund. Okay.
Yes.
All right. They just listen. They're going to answer you. Thank you very much. Okay, let's take 2 more calls and call it a day. Call us on 0770-417724 055-101075. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Let's hear you quickly.
Okay, I'm Victor Rogers, and I call you from Towards Cinco.
Okay, Victor. Let's hear you quickly.
Okay, just to add to what your studio guest was saying, when it comes to the digitization of the national records, I just wanted to add something to what they were saying.
Go ahead, please.
At the archives here, we start engaging with partners. We intend to fund fundings that will help us to do the digitization, and we also wrote the World Bank and the European Union to help us build libraries in the 15 counties. And so we are still working on that. And as soon as things get positive, I think we'll be on track. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Let's talk to one more person here on this line. Hello, your name and where you join us from? Hello. Okay. This person dropped the line. But we have just 3 more minutes to go. Let's squeeze this person in. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, your name and where you join us from?
This is Evangelist 2 from Mama Point, Labor Valley.
Yeah, Evangelist 2, go right ahead, please.
Thank you for at least this advanced talk. This is the missions are the record system.
Okay.
It's good. It's good. That's what I want to commend you for.
Okay, thank you.
This is more in the modern way.
Okay, thank you.
In the library, what with the archive center, we can use digital methods.
Thank you.
You can use the chip and other things. only have one sample of these things you're talking about. And when you want to see it in detail, play your tape. You go, the archive will be big, but will be contained digital method. So
thank you, sir. We don't have the luxury of time. We have to go. We have just 2 more minutes. Let's go over to Mr. Doman and Nire to address some of those concerns. I believe the bench jotted down points. Yeah,
I think the first person that asked the question whether unprobated deed can be kept at a national archive. No, because when it is probated, lastly, it got to be registered by law. Because when you probate a deed and you don't register it, it is not by law. So when you probate it, you carry it, you register it by law before it is kept by the National Archive.
Okay.
So yes, the other person talk about the search fee is a bit, and the search fee is just 25. That is because we can. The thing is, even
that one encouraging people to go to work.
Yeah, so even you pay. Imagine you pay 2,000-3,000 for just land. Then they tell you to pay $25 to search for your land. Then you say it's too expensive. I mean, so the administration will look at that, but I think it's administrative. Then there are a few issues that has to do with we didn't get the point where she talked about marriage. She was married 2 years and go, and if we can refund, there's no refund. Because we didn't get that clear.
Yeah, so I think she was saying she maybe paid for her marriage certificate and everything 2 years prior to the marriage, but then the marriage didn't take place.
Yeah, but we wouldn't bill her if she was supposed to get married in 2 years. We wouldn't bill her because the system is not built like that. We bill for only this year. So then we have to do the report before we start building for 2026. So we've been working with the USAID. USAID is putting out a Liberia. They have engaged us to keep most of their research papers, documents and other things. So we have having that discussion, the administration having that discussion. We hope we can conclude that soon as possible, because most of the research done here by the USAID, those documents are good for our public consumption, for the education purpose, for research. So we've been doing that. So we have also trained people in Riverside, Carisbury. Our staff was in record management, in customer service relations, in legal instruments handling, and all of that. We have conducted workshop for people in the public record sector. And so there are so many things going on at the archives. We have also trained 600 individuals with series of different areas. So the CNDRA.
Yeah, you just want to be brief because we're already out of time. Yeah.
So the CNDRA, in short, we need a budgetary support, and to be clear, we are not getting any support from UNESCO or some archival institution. We have registered with the International Council on Archive. We have a Class A membership, and I can assure you this year, the Deputy Director General and the Director General will be going to Spain to attend the RCA Congress. So we have an upcoming program, which is the International Archive Day in June. We hope you can be part of that as well, and is observed by all archival institutions in the world. So we will be providing the public with update as to how we intend to celebrate. Let the government help us and digitize the archive.
Okay, Mr. Doma, finally.
Thank you, Yegesi, for inviting us here today. My parting comment is, I am pleading with the government to please pay attention to the National Archive and try to increase our budgetary allotment so that we'll be able to establish library services across Liberia, because the young Liberians deserve to read and try to get on top of information, because the only way you can get along with information is keep reading. If you are going to school, you don't read, you will not get on top of things. So we are appealing to the government to try to increase budgetary allotment so our workings will be easy at the National Archive. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. So folks, that's it. You've been listening to the Deputy Director General at the Center for National Documents and Records Agency, alongside the Communications Director, Mr. Doman and Copy Neri have been here providing you some information and education about the National Archives. So that's how I would like to go home on this edition of the Today Show. Many thanks for your listening role. Many thanks to all of you who called in and made their contributions. We'll be back here on tomorrow, but with a different team. Lorena Honoree and Emmanuel David will be here to take you through out this week. I will be back here on Monday. My name is Yekezi Zobe, bidding you pleasant goodbye. Bye-bye.